Welcome to Eviliv, the live media commentary show that answers the question, why? Why, Abby? Why?
Yeah,
Subscribe
man.
if you're new to the channel because today we are reviewing HBO's The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2, Through the Valley. All right,
Fuck yeah.
man.
This is one I really wish we could have done immediately following the viewing of this.
Right.
Because everybody I've talked to thus far about this episode, and specifically what happens in this episode, it's all been with people that have played the game.
Ah,
So it's like there's two different kinds of Last of Us fans. There's the ones that have only watched the show, and there's the ones that have watched or played the games. And motherfucker, if you knew, like, if you had played the games, this was the first thing you thought when they announced season 2. It's like, oh god, how are they going to do this? To the point where I was having like legit arguments of like, there's no way in hell they're going to do it that soon in. Because
yeah.
chronologically, it makes sense because that happens real fucking early on in the game.
Oh, wow.
But it's like they're turning this into two different seasons. This one game. Is that going to be the finale? And no, is the answer. A resounding no. This is not the answer.
It's crazy because the first time I watched it, I was like, no, that's not how he dies. Like, in my head, I knew how he was going to die, and it was not this way. And so when she takes that little broken golf club stick and jabs in his throat, I was just like in shock. Like the first
Yeah.
time I watched this, I was just in shock. And I was like looking over at Sean, I was looking at the TV, I was just like, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe he's the fucking star of the show. I can't believe they fucking did that. I just watched it again tonight and I wept because I knew it was coming. I knew the emotional depth. It wasn't the shock, it was the story that got me. So the first time I watched it, it was just the shock. And I wonder if that's something that other people are taking away too. Like it doesn't actually emotionally affect them because they just can't believe what they just saw. Because you don't do that in series. And yet they fucking did.
Yeah, man. It's I'm the thing I've been at odds with is which is worse? Because like, have you, after having viewed this, have you seen how he dies in the game?
No.
So basically, he's just beaten to death. Like she doesn't break the club; she just completely just obliterates him with that club.
Ugh.
And it's like I'm having a hard time deciding which is fucking worse.
Right.
It's like, on one hand, this is pretty goddamn bad because he's looking at Ellie as his blood is draining out of his body and, thus his life is ending. With the other one, it's just like his face is just fucking caved in pretty much.
Oh, man.
Yeah, either way, very, very, very brutal ending.
Holy shit. Yeah, man. Like when she was just screaming for him to get up because in her mind, he's survived so much. There's no way this could like take him down. He's survived insurmountable odds, saved her in every fucking turn. They had their problems, but that doesn't matter because he's a superhero. It's like every kid sees their parents as this sort of superhero, know-it-all. They have all the answers, and the reality is the exact opposite. But that's what you think until you see this moment. It usually happens, in the early teens or something, where you see your parents for the first time as like humans, fallible humans, and you're just like, oh shit, okay, now I'm kind of on my own a little bit. I got to figure shit out and see how I can manage life now that I realize that they don't have it together. And mileage may vary for people. For Ellie, like this is he's literally gone through like zombie apocalypse with her. He can't die. He can't go away, especially by some fucking whiny ass turd girl. I love the actress, but that's presented as just a whiny bitch who everyone dies in this world. Everyone suffers. Everyone has suffered. What makes you special that you get to have this one special revenge arc over anyone else? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm having a hard time with her because like the thing is they cast her perfect, but Ellie or not Ellie, Abby, like, and that's the thing, like she fucking looks like her, minus the fact that she looks like the Abby in the game would pick her up with one hand and just snap her in half because like Abby in the game is fucking jacked, like she is a killing machine because that has been her entire fucking purpose in life, essentially. So like when we're introduced to her, like she is just like, so having, and that's
Swole.
believable. Having a giant fucking muscle woman beat the living shit literally out of Joel makes sense. This guy, I mean, the size, of course, doesn't matter. Like we all know that. But it's just something. I don't know. I guess because of playing the game, it's less. I don't know. It's less believable for me because of the fact that it's like Joel could have just like kicked her in the fucking shin and she'd have dropped and cried.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
assuming
just
she didn't shotgun him to the knees.
he has another leg that works.
Yeah, I also almost kind of felt that she led with how she knows him and how she's going and that she's going to kill him because of it. Like
Mhm.
that should have been broadcast right after, right before she grabbed the shotgun to blast his kneecap. But after that happened and they tourniqueted it and she's monologuing and he just says, "Shut the fuck up and get it over with already," or something to that effect. Why isn't he saying your dad was going to murder an innocent child? Like why doesn't he justify his behavior? If if survival is your sole purpose in this world, why is he succumbing to, for all intents and purposes, his knowing doom? Instead, he doesn't even fight at all. He's just like, just do it already. Like, why don't you say something? I don't get it.
Yeah, I just think he knew. Like
Yeah.
it's the he's surrounded by a bunch of people with fucking assault rifles. Like he's not going anywhere. And that's the thing with Joel's. Up until his dying day, he kept that secret of Ellie.
Right.
Because I mean, that's the whole
But you
purpose of
don't even have to
everything.
give away the secret because they were going to literally murder her. So you could
Mhm.
have spun some yarn about, just experimenting on her or something. At least disrupt the confidence in the room because right now, Abby's the only one that's 100%. Everyone else in that
Mhm.
room, as far as the show was concerned, was questioning her motives and whether or not they should even go through with it.
Mhm.
And so I feel like if he would have and it doesn't matter because it's in the script and that's what has to happen because it was in the game, but I just didn't want it to happen, and it was so
Yeah.
sad, and I was so frustrated, and like it would never have gone any differently if I had some say in the matter. But I was just like, just fucking fight, man! I just can't
Right.
accept. And when Ellie was on the ground, she's like, just get up, and we see his finger twitch because that's all he could do to try to get up. He was trying to live up to the expectation that is built up between this relationship. And she said it right there to her partner, the guard partner, where she was like, "Look, we've had our problems, but he will always be Joel. And we will always, have this relationship. Even though we have issues, he's always Joel to me. And you don't understand that and you can't understand that." But in this final moment, my heart just ripped in half. And I
Oh
just
yeah.
like she's realizing Joel is gone and now it's just you and you are going to become just like Abby, bent on revenge in a world that is just trying to murder you and it doesn't matter. Like, oh,
Mhm.
it's brutal. Man.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, it's a heavy fucking episode, and it's that was the thing. Like, I really did wonder, is it gonna have the same weight as the game did? Because that first time, of course, it was shocking because it's like no, he's clearly gonna get out of this shit. He's gotten out of worse. Um, and every time after that, because I played the game probably like 7 fucking
oh
times, like
geez.
beat it through 7 times, and it every goddamn time it gets you. So I was like, I really wonder if the show's gonna hold up to that. And oh, they got it. They fucking got me good.
So I did hear some people who had played the game and then watched the show complained a little bit because you actually play Abby, I think, before she kills Joel. And so you have a bit of a
Mhm.
one-handed relationship with the character, like a first-hand relationship with the character before you actually witness her murdering this dude.
Mhm. Yeah.
So how did that affect you having actually been her for a bit?
Um,
Like is it a heavier
I mean,
weight?
I kind of wish we would have seen that, but like they kind of changed it up a little bit with like
Oh
the
really?
hordes of zombies.
Mm.
Um, because I mean, essentially that's it. That's what we get with her. She's out on patrol, or like not really. Well, I guess yeah, patrol. Just kind of checking the grounds. It's before they're getting ready to leave and stuff, and she's fucking around looking for her homie, and then has to run back to uh, the lodge because some zombies come after her. I don't really feel like it changed the narrative any, the fact that we don't get that much with her. And the thing is, like, I feel like the way that they're setting up this, like the way they're going to break up this, this into two seasons, is we're going to get Abby's point of view the next season, because we've only got, I mean, obviously we're talking about episode 2, but we've only got like what, 2-3 episodes left before the end of the season.
Yeah.
So, and we really haven't had much Abby. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to get the other side of the coin with the next season.
And she did tease Washington and, their sort of general or what commander or whatever. And she's like, I don't recommend you go. Not that it matters, because clearly he's not going to go anywhere because she's going to fucking murder him. But I did like that she, even though it seemed like she adopted the code, except for this instance, she, like, that's a shit show. Like, Washington's just a garbage pile. So does Ellie like go out and hunt Abby into Washington?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah, I
excited.
mean the show is staying pretty relatively true to the game,
Right.
minus what happens in this last week's episode, but we won't talk about that just yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go over some of that stuff. All right. Well, this was directed by Mark Mylod, written by Craig Mazin. Of course, it aired on the 20th. We are behind on the reviews because life happens. But ultimately, we're just sort of living in Jackson. And they're going on their regular patrols and making sure everything's safe and doing their safety briefings. And life is pretty much normal. But everyone's dealing with, what it means to be living in this atmosphere. And then, of course, Abby and her crew are hunting, and they realize that this is a whole city. How the hell are they ever going to find Joel in a damn city? And they're actually in the series talking about how they're trying to figure out a way to talk Abby out of even trying this. But Abby is on patrol and she sees 2 horse riders, and so she goes to try to get a better look, falls down into this what just I mean, it's like an insulated zombie cake, mushroom zombie pie, and they all just like burst out because not only did she wake them up by walking all on top of them, but also back at the town, the little fungal tendrils got into the water pipes, and they were like ripping those out, trying to clear them out to probably repurpose and use them, and that alerted the fungi to human presence. And so we get to see her running away, and then the most goddamn tense action sequence, I think, in like 5-6 episodes, including the previous season, where like she's running from these things trying to survive. It was very video gamey too, and like
It
that
was
chain link.
100%. That was shot for shot from the video game.
Oh, really? Okay, that's why I
Yeah,
felt that
yeah.
way. I was just like, I could see this in the game. This is very gamey. But the chain link, bursting down on her, and then the zombie creature getting through, and my heart's pumping, and I'm just getting all excited, like worried for her, even though fuck this girl. But it's just the fact that I know the actress from other films and I like her, and it's the drama pulls you in, man. It really pulls you in well. And then Joel saves her.
One thing. Yeah.
You were gonna say that's one thing?
Oh, I was just gonna say that's one thing that I really appreciated about this episode in particular, was how much of the shit was like shot for shot of the video game, like them getting into the supermarket. Oh, clearly jumped on here, jumped on here, jumped on here. It's like, yeah, that's what you do in the game.
So as far as like storytelling goes, does it frustrate you as a viewer that it's so shot for shot? Like, what's coming? Do you ever wish they switch it
No.
up at all?
They have.
Oh, okay.
They've changed it up quite a bit. Like, the thing is, the stuff that it seems like they're sticking really true to the game, it's shot for shot the game, which is great, because it's not so much that it takes you out of it, and it's also not something that if you never played the game, you're just gonna kind of be like, what the fuck, why are they doing this?
Right.
Like, I think they found the balance really, really well with that.
Okay. You always wondered about that, because I can see that it would be like, because you know what's coming, you're just sort of like, all right, well, this is the dull part of the story, and then it's going to get to action sequence next, and then you see the action sequence, and you're like, yep, I knew that was coming, and From like my perspective, this is like great storytelling, super exciting. When it hits action wise, it hits hard,
Mhm.
but it's all earned, and I just love it so much.
I But I can tell you from playing the game, which is like, mm, if you're collecting everything, it's like an 8 to 12-hour game.
Wow. Okay.
Um, but there's no slow part of the game
Oh, really?
at all. Like maybe riding the horse a couple of times, but no. Mm, Um, yeah, no, it's just insane, like how well they're doing. Like I loved the last season, but with this, I feel like they're just taking it to a different level.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm loving this so much. And I can't like I know the next few episodes because I've clearly we're a little bit behind and I've already watched them and stuff, but I can't wait to talk about some of the other stuff that's happening in the fallout of this. But let's talk about this sort of the assault, the war on Jackson, as it were, the fungal war on Jackson, because there were some really cool sequences, and it kind of in like a weird way reminded me of Army of Darkness. Like when the undead are like swarming
Yeah,
the castle and they're like fighting.
like it's a mixture of the Battle of the Five Armies,
Mm-hmm.
also
Mm-hmm.
the Army of Darkness.
Yeah, I mean it's not
Yeah,
tongue in cheek or slapstick or anything like Army of
yeah.
Darkness was, but it just had that sort of the explosiveness when they're like throwing the
Mhm.
oil barrels over and then throwing the torches and just kablam. Super awesome. I have a question about the big baddies. Okay, like the big muscular monsters, the one that actually like breaks in through the wall.
Yeah, yeah, the tanks
The
basically.
tanks, yeah. Is that only possible if the human that was taken over by the fungus was already large?
No. So
Oh.
basically, the more powerful the zombie, the longer they have been a zombie.
Oh, so all of them will end up that way.
If they don't die first
Wow.
or become
Okay.
a part of the oh god, what's it called? The mycelium or whatever, the fancy word for becoming like the network of fungi.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so it's like that's why you'll get the people that look, they're clearly zombies, but they have most of their body. And then you get the clickers where the fungus has taken over their face. And it's a progression the longer the fungus has taken over the body.
That's terrifying, because there could be like
Yeah.
a decade in the future, and there's just like 100 of those big, thick motherfuckers coming at you,
Mhm.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
"Fuck!" It's terrifying. All right,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't like that. I was thinking, maybe it's just Samoans. Maybe it's just large women.
It could be.
Maybe
Fuck.
they're just in moo and fungus faces, and they're just busting shit down like the Kool-Aid Man. But no, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
it's
I
everyone.
mean, I could see it.
That's terrifying. Again, very video gamey. The whole um, flamethrower to kill that tank creature,
Mhm.
like it. It feels very video gamey watching it, which actually takes me out of it. Not having played the video game, I'm just like, I just
So
don't see someone standing up like that, like
I
doing
mean,
it.
if that's all you fucking got, like you're gonna do whatever you got until you're dead.
Right, and I do
But
like that they
yeah.
showed some of them running away when they saw the horde of the zombie creatures
Oh
coming.
yeah.
And they're just like,
And
"Fuck this!"
so that, to the best of my knowledge, keeping in mind I've never played the DLC to this. Like I don't think that ever happened, but there
Oh,
is
okay.
also some DLC that I didn't play, which essentially zombies take over Jackson. So I'm assuming that's what this is, but again, I don't have any context for it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that shit was terrifying. It's like he's gonna be okay. At least I knew he was gonna be okay.
I didn't.
Um,
Not after
yeah,
Joel.
yeah. I get that,
Everything's up in
but
the air now.
yeah, I knew he was gonna be fine. But even knowing he was gonna be fine, that was still fucking intense because it's like he's right there. He's backed into a fucking corner, and that shit is almost cashed.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ugh,
intense.
it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, and it's so beautifully shot,
Mhm.
hyper focusing on the tension that I just find myself clinched up in like this little tense ball. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I just don't watch TV like that. And like this gets me every single episode. There's something about this show that is so powerful and moving. Um, I don't know which is better, this or the one we're going to talk about next, after having gone through, 9 episodes of that one, which is actually better because they're just stunningly good, both in
I,
different
I've
ways.
I've I've gotten through about 6.5 of the episodes. This is better in my opinion. Way better.
Just wait. 7, 8, and 9 is
That's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing.
groundbreaking.
I just something about raves in space kind of bothers me. But
You
we'll
didn't
talk
like
about
that?
it.
I can't wait to talk about it. All right.
I think I was being a poopy pants when I was watching it, but
Ah.
that was one of my ongoing notes was I don't know if I like this.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. That's fair. I really loved the heart of this is the sense of community, right?
Mhm.
Um, it really made me start recontextualizing my literal community, like my neighborhood street. Our neighbors came over, and they're the new neighbors that just moved in last year, and his wife, they're Latin. She loves cooking, and she made this carne asada and a bunch of homemade salsa and everything. They just brought it over,
Oh yeah.
and so to reciprocate, we gave them a bunch of eggs and some homemade loaf of bread and sourdough bread to sort of like
Oh
give
yeah.
back. But like that community experience of, hey, we're doing this, we want to include you, try this. Um, I like conceptually the idea of that within Jackson, where everyone knows that, yeah, if you live here, you're you're surviving the apocalypse. Like that's really what you're looking
Mhm.
at. You will die if you do not contribute, but everyone's willing to contribute because you sort of shake down your socio-political views because they don't matter anymore, and you're hyper focused on survival and caretaking and support. And I really like that idea. Um, I don't know that we could ever do that in our country right now, but I like the
No.
idea
No,
of
absolutely not.
it. And
No, pretty much unless you have your own compound, that shit's not happening.
yeah, yeah, unfortunately. Um, but to see the tragedy of this assault on Jackson and the fallout, and just that one scene of just that one guy handing his pistol to the other and showing him his arm that was bit, and then as the camera's moving past, just pop. You know this is a reality. You don't want
Mhm.
to hurt them, so you are willing to let them kill you because you know what's going to happen if they don't. Like,
Mhm.
it's not so much a selfless act as I don't want to be the thing that kills the people I care about. So just end
Yeah.
this shit. And if everyone's living in that universe of we don't want to destroy each other, so let's find a way to work together. If we I'm not going to make some big fucking statement about what we should be doing as a country or anything, but
I mean, you
let's
can.
do that. Let's just do
Yeah.
that. We can disagree about anything and everything, but let's just not fucking be douchebags all the time, maybe. Save it for the weekends or something. For fuck's
Real
sake.
simple concept. Don't
Right.
be a cunt.
It's impossible. It's fucking impossible.
It really is. It really is.
And so I loved the drama of the interpersonal relationships, and you cared when all of a sudden like a bunch of them rush up onto the rooftop and you see old boy's wife and you're just like, oh shit, she's gonna get fucking killed, and she's moving
Yeah.
through and there's crazy shit happening all over. Like the camera work in this is bananas. They did such a great job.
Yeah.
Oh god. All right. So, I mean, is there anything you want to sort of touch on in this episode that we haven't sort of gone over as of yet?
No, there's not really anything I can talk about because it's like,
I know what we should
yeah,
talk
I mean,
about.
it's okay. Yeah, let's talk about what
Gas
you want to
mask
talk about.
bong. Have you ever done it?
No, I
I've never.
haven't. It fucking kills me. So here's the problem. This is the issue with quitting smoking weed at 16, 17, I don't know. It was somewhere around there. And then starting again in your fucking mid 30s. You kind of miss that era.
Right.
And like at this point, like I can't really justify buying that. Not so much for the fact that, oh, I shouldn't buy drug paraphernalia. No, I got a lot of drug paraphernalia. It's not the fact that it's technically illegal. because it's $100 fine in my neck of the woods. The issue is storage. It's like that takes up a lot of space. Where the fuck do I put it? Plus, I kind of feel like that's the kind of thing where you have to do that with somebody else just in
Yep.
case, it hits a little hard and you're gonna like suffocate. Because I've been there. I've been there with other things. Like I've straight up like created a box in a tiny shower and proceeded to hotbox that shit.
You hotboxed a box.
I hotboxed a box essentially without, of course, thinking, well, it's in the shower. I just turn on the water. It'll be fine. It'll kind of break it up and it won't stink throughout my house. That's not the fucking case when here's the shower head, here's the top of the
That's
box.
awesome.
And the only way to remove that is to open the door. Yeah, I was a stupid teenager. Yeah, I started to get dizzy, thought I was going to pass out. And it's like, I should probably not do that by myself.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. That's why I'm scared of those. But I really want to do one.
I'm always scared of bongs in general because the last time I had a bong hit, I think it was laced with something and it fucked me up.
Dude, that shit sucks, man.
Next level stuff. I was puking and shit.
Dude,
So
worst thing ever was I smoked some that was laced with PCP, and that was not fun. At all.
Yeah.
I do not recommend PCP at all, folks.
All right. Hey, everyone, listen up. Stay away from PCP. We're not
other
totally
drugs, whatever.
irresponsible.
Do what you want. That you probably don't want to try it.
If it comes from the earth, maybe it's not so bad. You might live through it. You might be okay. If it comes from a crack pipe, maybe stay away. I actually don't know the form of PCP. I don't know anything about it, to be quite honest.
I know that I did it once, and that's about my extent of knowledge. It's like crack. I smoked some fucking weed that was laced with crack once. That was fun.
Wow, you're literally a crack hoe.
Yeah.
Hoe!
Yeah.
Crack hoe! Yeah, Chris, I feel you, man. I feel you. The first time I was already drinking. The second time I was not, and I had to grab one because I was crying. Like,
oh my God.
Openly weeping.
This was me. As soon as I saw Abby grab his hand, like I'm sitting on one side of the living room, my wife's sitting on the other side. As soon as they touched hands, it's just like just waiting for her reaction. It's like, is she gonna care? I don't think she's going to because she doesn't have a soul. She's a ginger. But it's like I remember how much this shit decimated me. What's that?
It's science.
It is science. Yeah, God, I think that kind of saved me was the fact that I was trying to experience it through somebody else's eyes that didn't know this happened. I mean, she kind of knew because I told her, but I didn't go into detail of it, so I wanted to witness her response to it. And yeah, I think if I had just been solely focusing on this, because of course I had a couple in me, I would have been snot and tears and just not pretty.
So how did she react?
Oh, she didn't. She's like, oh, that's some shit. That's about it.
Yeah. Did you want Joel to try to talk back or convince the other people? Yeah, we already talked about that part. I definitely did, for sure. It bothered me that he didn't, but it's a story. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Everything else about this was a fucking 10, so.
Well, the problem is, if I remember from the game, because like I remember the scene, but I don't remember everything building up to it other than, obviously them kidnapping him and mostly Ellie coming in. But from what I remember, it was just like Joel internalizes everything. Like as shit's happening, he's trying not to mince words because he's focusing on like, okay, here, can I escape? Here, can I escape? Here, can I do this? Like, how am I getting out of this? So I feel like it stayed true to the character. I agree with you wholly. Like he should have done more, but it's also like, okay, I guess it's par for the course with the character.
Well, especially when we play back to the last episode of the last season, he didn't think twice. He grabbed weapons and murdered people to save Ellie. He's not the emotional outburst reason with them type of guy. He's the I will burn you down fucking kind of guy. Like we've just been shown that over and over and over again since his own daughter's death. And so I 100% understand why he just said, shut the fuck up and do what you're going to do. because he saw the writing on the wall. He knew the mail was coming. But it still just hurts, you know. I love the
Oh
actor.
yeah.
I love the character. I love the goddamn show, and I don't know how they're going to include him moving forward. But if there's going to be flashbacks with him being tender to Ellie, I'm just going to be a
Dude,
weeping pile of
you
garbage.
are gonna be a weeping pile of garbage.
God damn it.
Like there's one scene where they visit a museum, and that's all I'm gonna say. And if they do that even half the justice of the game, yeah, you're gonna be
Oh,
a
really?
fucking mess.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Don't do it
Yeah.
on Father's Day, people. I will lose my shit. And it's going to land like an episode has got to land on Father's Day, right? Well, no, we don't have
I
that
think
long to go.
no, I think we only have like 2 more episodes,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
Something like that. Because
Yeah.
I think it's like a 7-episode season. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think,
no,
to Chris's point, I don't think Joel regretted anything at all, at
no,
any point ever. Like, he did
no.
what he felt like he had to do.
Really, the only thing it would be just like the same shit any one of us. Like, I could have done this instead. Like his relationship with Ellie, towards the end. But it's like he also understood that, she's a fucking teenager. Like she's a
Mhm.
young adult. She's separating from me. So outside of little nitpicky things that, I mean, that's something that all of us are cursed to deal with. Like once we
Yeah.
lose someone, there's always going to be, I should have done this instead. I should have done this instead. But ultimately, no, I really don't think he had any regrets going out.
Yeah, I'm not even really sure that. I think the only reason why he had that emotional reaction in the therapist's office when he said, I saved her, and he was like, had a tear rolling down his face, was because he feels like that somehow and like was the catalyst for how they are right now. Or now I'm second guessing because the trauma that you would have had to go through in order to do what he did, the strain and stress and adrenaline and the magnitude of the actions that he took have to weigh on you as a human being at some point. And so
Right.
maybe it's the reflection of that that's making him tear up because I don't think he regrets killing those people because they were going to tear her apart and end her life. Like I think that was the narrative, right? They were going to like kill her to
Oh yeah.
figure out.
Yeah, because
So,
that was the only way, like essentially her immunity had to be somewhere in her, either her spinal column or specifically like her brain stem.
right.
And that's what they were going to remove. And of course, you remove that, kind of remove everything that makes you alive.
Your brainstem. You can live without a brainstem. Look at MAGA. There's no
Right.
brain there. Fucking idiots. I hope one of you fucking cunts watch this and hear this.
Oh my God, please.
Jackasses.
I will argue with you all fucking day. Shit. Make America great again. Good. Get your white ass out of my fucking country.
Oh, I mean, I gotta point the right
Not your white
direction.
ass. I love your white ass. I'm saying MAGA
No, I'm saying this
specifically.
valid. Like you're making a valid
okay.
fucking point.
Yeah.
The fact that Ellie
Yeah.
wanted to go on patrol with him convinced you that they reconciled the night before. I don't think they reconciled the night before.
No.
She was just saying that because she was getting annoyed by that dude, but she still has, and she clarified that, and we sort of touched on this before. She knows who he is. She loves him. She's just she's individuating. Everyone goes through this. Every single human.
100 fucking
She's doing it a
percent.
little bit older because of the trauma that life has pushed on them, but everyone individuates like that. And so I feel like she definitely understands what she's doing. She's trying to be her own person, sans relying on someone else for her existence in this crazy world. But she still loves him. She still cares for him, and it hurts her to see his reaction. But as kids, your brain's not fully developed. You're acting on reactionary instincts in the moment, and so you regret a whole lot of things as you get older. You internalize them in different ways. You see and regret your actions toward your parents in some cases. Again, mileage may vary. I think that's what she's doing, where she's like, you know what, I've been a real shit ass, and he's trying, and I can see him trying, and I appreciate. Like, I would be upset if he didn't try. I feel like that's the mindset that she's
Yeah.
in. So she's like, let me just go with him because at least I know we have something that's not going to be annoying. He'll stay quiet if I stay quiet. We don't have to talk because we know each other. We are there.
Yeah.
We're in that zone space. It's like when, you know, man camp, we don't have to sit there and blather on about bullshit. We can just sit there and that's it. And it's okay.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So, I don't know. I loved that. I love that they showcase the depth of the relationship to juxtapose the fucking tragedy at the end, so it really hits hard because she's finally saying, "No, I love him. It's Joel. I care about him. Just I'd rather go on with him." And then the old dude's like, "Oh, he left an hour earlier. He wanted you to sleep." Showcasing that he still cares about her, she cares about him, and then at the end when he's just a pulp, just twitching a finger, it just adds to that weight. Oh,
Yeah, man.
it's so good.
So fucking gnarly.
Oh man. All right. Well, I would say, what are you expecting next? But we know what's coming up next. So let's just say, what was your favorite moment of this episode?
Oh man. I hate to say it, but it's death. Like
right.
they did it justice. Like I was I don't know why. Like I should have more faith in these guys. I think it's the fact that so much television just sucks now.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but I was nervous they weren't going to like show us him dying. It was going to be like one of those moments where it's like, oh, it's off camera where the moment happens, and no, they fucking did it. And
Yeah.
again, I'm still on the fence if it was more brutal or on par, but God, it was such a guttural, just your heart falling out of your asshole moment.
Yeah. The brutality, the visual brutality of it reminded me of Goodfellas. Like
Yeah,
just brutal
definitely.
beating. And then just that
Fucking
final...
funny like a clown.
I love Goodfellas. So goddamn good.
Yeah.
But just that he's like, just end it, fucking end it already. We gotta go. And she just shink and then silence. And you don't even hear her scream. You just see her screaming reaction. And the last time we saw her react in that visceral way, she was pummeling a dude to death in the previous season in this hugely emotional experience. And so you know what it takes to put her in that place. And we have been there because we just watched it too. We're just like, oh, I can't believe this fucking... Yeah, hands down, best and worst in my opinion. Fucking part of the entire show thus far.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, devastating. All right. Well, worst for you. What was the worst part for you?
Oh, nothing. This show is just perfect.
It's so good. It's so goddamn good.
It's one that I would have to legit sit down and nitpick the fuck out of to find something I don't like.
I feel like this would be an even infinitely better show after you've watched it live. You just get high and just stream all the episodes at once and just experience it all high.
That's my plan when the season's over. I'm going to fucking waste an entire day on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 8 hours or 7 or 8 hours. So
do a couple joints to get through that, or a couple edibles.
Fuck that. I got a pen, dude. I just sit there and as I'm going.
I mean, that's good too.
But I mean,
I'm so stoked to see how they're going to end this because I know nothing, and that's exciting. It's a little bit terrifying though as well.
I'm stoked to see how they end it because I know how it ends, and they are. That's the thing is like they are staying on course, but they're not. Like they are changing stuff around enough that like and I swear it's because of the fact it's like hindsight. Like they released the game, it was beautiful, it was perfect. Anybody that says otherwise is a fucking idiot. I'll fist fight them. But just like any sort of creation, like as soon as you finish it, you realize, this is what I could have done differently with it to make this sort of impact. And I think that's what they're doing. And it's just, God, it's fucking beautiful.
It is interesting because you have to take serious consideration. Like this was a video game, which is a very different experience to experience than a series. You have X amount of episodes in a series. In a video game, especially this video game of the first season that I've watched, or the first episode I watched, or I played through most of, you get to explore and you get time to like live in the world much more than an hour a week or whatever it is. And
Mhm.
so knowing they have to change it up, knowing that that's going to change the experience of the viewer, you have to recontextualize. Okay, well, if we're going to be putting this in a series context and they're not going to be able to explore it themselves, and we have to sort of drive them through with an overarching narrative and pacing so that they don't get bored and turn it to something else, how do we do that? And again, I think they've done it beautifully. They've never led with some sort of overarching message that they want to send. It's all
Mhm.
about focused on the property and doing justice to the property. And
Yeah.
it's a lesson for anyone who is ever going to adapt a video game or play in a IP sandbox. This is how you do it, people. Like
Yeah.
this is how you fucking do it. And if you can't do it like this, don't try because you're
Yeah.
just
Hint,
going to
hint,
burn.
Disney. Yeah.
He wants to play the game, but he's nervous he'll suck at the game. That's the point of games, though. You know, you die a
Mhm.
thousand times and then you finally make
Yeah.
it through, and it's worth it.
Exactly. That's why you play it so many times, because once you get to that, sixth or seventh version, you've unlocked all the weapons, fully upgraded them, and you can take out a fucking giant zombie with like one shot. I mean,
Oh, really?
you got oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like I forget what some Magnum or something, but fully
Yeah.
upgraded, and yeah, it's basically one shot, one kill.
Hell yeah.
Like just by pop, good shit.
And you got to earn those upgrades too. I remember I've only gotten a
Oh yeah.
couple of them. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the battle scene was epic. It actually reminded me more of the Game of Thrones, where Jon Snow was like facing off a whole army. That's the vibe I got from it versus like Minas Tirith or something like that in Lord of the Rings, because that was much more grand and epic. This felt so intimate and isolated that you didn't
Yeah.
feel like you had an army at your back. And that's how the vibe I got when I was watching the Game of Thrones episode from the, I don't know, fifth or sixth season or whatever the fuck it was, seventh, I don't know. In any case, this was a great episode. It hit on every goddamn point, and it tore you up emotionally, and it made you
Yeah.
want more, which is, I mean, a lot to ask from a viewer to, be devastated and still want to keep watching. And they did it.
Right.
That's how
Yeah,
good they
they
are.
they absolutely did. They knocked that shit out of the park.
All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about with this?
No, man, we definitely got it.
Well, thank you all so very much for tuning in. Let us know what you thought of episode 2 of season 2 of The Last of Us. Were you okay with the way Joel went out? If not, let us know in the comments below. And if you are okay with it, let us know why, because there's something mentally wrong with you. You should never be okay with
Right.
Joel dying. I want to
Yeah.
have him on my bed and hug him and snuggle him.
Yeah.
I need a Joel in my life. Actually, you're my Joel, by the way, Cameron.
Oh.
You're my Joel.
Well, we need to make this happen then. I'll come over and we'll snuggle. We'll just tell the wives to go fuck themselves for a minute.
It's happening, people. All right. Well, as always, like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live. So get out there and be evil.
Satan. I don't know.
Snuggle, Satan, evil.
Yes.